Doc Spence, short fiction by W. Burtis.
Howdy, folks. Welcome to KOWZ 1610 on your radio dial, the voice of northeastern Wyoming and southeastern Montana, your source for local and regional news, weather, and sports. I have Captain Robert Willis of the Wyoming State Highway Patrol on line 1.
Folks, it's absolutely imperative you stay off the roads. Stay home. If you have an emergency, I pray you don't. Stay calm. Call the operator. Tell her it's an emergency. You will immediately be connected to the nearest highway patrol station. Stay on the line. Do not hang up. I repeat, do not hang up. Areas throughout the region report visibility is near whiteout, with high winds and major snow drifting.
That was Captain Robert Willis of the Wyoming State Highway Patrol, reminding everyone to stay off the roads. The current time and temperature, courtesy of Buckhorn Feed and Supply, home for all your farming and ranching needs. Time, 6 a.m. Temperature, minus 23 degrees Fahrenheit, with sustained winds of 40 miles per hour, gusting as high as 55 miles per hour. Okie dokie, it's that time. Time for my 2 cents worth.
Curly Johnson here. This blizzard is downright tame compared to the great one of 1949. I was a little tyke when it hit. 20 Wyomingites lost their lives. A lot more folks lost fingers and toes from frostbite. It took my Aunt June. The unraid devil caused the death of 286,000 cattle and 1.5 million sheep. Those numbers ain't right. They're way too low, 'cause they don't take into account livestock that had to be put down because of storm-related problems. For more than a week, the temperature it didn't get above 30 degrees below zero. A lot of ranchers, even with the government's help, lost everything. Many had to sell their land for pennies on the dollar. Sometimes life just ain't fair. One more thing. No matter how ugly it gets, we'll survive. We're Wyoming tough.
Thank you, Curly Johnson. Personally, I don't think any blizzard is tame. Good morning. Welcome to my 2 cents worth. You're on the air.
Howdy. My 2 cents worth is about surviving a blizzard. Keep warm, do things like make sure your house is well insulated, wear layered clothing, use heavy blankets. Some folks have coal or wood stoves or kerosene heaters they can use if their main heat source fails. Have a supply of non-perishable food, water, and medicine. Don't forget about your pets. Their needs are the same as ours. Have available for use during an emergency, candles, matches, and a flashlight with extra batteries. Put together a first aid kit. If you don't have one, get a battery-operated radio. It will keep you informed about current and changing weather conditions. Keep in touch with your family and your neighbors. You may need to share resources. Clear the snow, as best you can, from sidewalks and driveways. It can keep you from getting snowed in. It will also enable emergency access to your living quarters. Make a survival kit to keep in your car. At the very least, it should contain food, water, blankets, and a shovel. Blizzards are tough, but we're tougher and smarter. That's my 2 cents worth.
Doc Spence, Part 2.
Your dad's out back. He could use some help.
The blizzard abated as quickly as it had arrived. Les was buckling his snow boots when the radio announcer caught his attention.
This just in. I'm sorry. The frozen bodies of an adult male, an adult female, and 3 small children have been found 67 miles north of Casper, Wyoming. The bodies were discovered approximately 100 yards west of a red and white 1957 Chevy Bel Air bearing license plate North Carolina EF 7089. Apparently they were trying to make it to a nearby ranch house. Anyone with information about these folks, contact the State Highway Patrol ASAP. Please join me in a moment of silence.
Les's mother handed him 2 cinnamon rolls, or, as they were known among the family, sticky rolls. Les trudged through the snow, kicking at drifts on his way to the pickup truck. A lighted heat lamp remained under its hood. All 4 tires had snow chains. It was backed up with the tailgate down to the open garage door. Les gave his dad a sticky roll.
What do you need me to do?
Take the heat lamp and hang it over there, next to the butcher's saw. Shovel a path from the pickup to the middle of the street.
Boy, the pig's slop smells good. His dad pointed a steaming shovel full of slop at Les.
Here, it's best served hot.
Halfway to the hog pen, 3 miles east of town, just past Buck White's place, next to Crystal Creek, Les bit into his sticky roll.
Oh, damn it.
What the hell's that about?
Shooting pain from my tooth down my jaw.
No reason to screech like a sissy.
Here, you can have my roll.
Thanks.
Even before his dad finished backing the pickup truck to the hog pen's main gate, Les sensed something wasn't right. Mildred, a Yorkshire gilt bred by a Hampshire boar, was laying on her right side at the back of the farrowing pen.
Take them.
His dad handed Les 2 piglets.
The others are dead. Behind the seat on the passenger side of the pickup, there's a wool blanket. Wrap them in it. Start the pickup and turn the heater on high. It is in the glove compartment. Get it.
Les put the piglets inside his shirt next to his skin. He stopped at the farrowing pen entrance and looked over his shoulder. His dad was affectionately scratching Mildred behind her left ear. It was a Harrington and Richardson .22 caliber pistol that, with a full cylinder, held 9 .22 long rifle bullets.
You ought to do this.
I need to check on the piglets.
Listen, there are times when a man has to force himself to do things he doesn't want to do, or doesn't think he can do. She's in pain. A lot of pain. We've got to put her out of her misery. It's the right thing. It has to be done.
They rode back to the house, separated by a wall of cold silence.
Behind the garage, underneath the tarp, there are wood scraps, bricks, and cinder blocks. Make a pen for the piglets. I'm going to Goat Ladies. Have your mom mix 2 cups of corn syrup with 10 cups of water. Ask her to put the mixture into baby bottles and to give you a couple 20-milliliter syringes. Tell her about your tooth.
After putting together a makeshift pen, Les took the heat lamp hanging beside the butcher's saw and adjusted it until the pen's warmest spot was the corner furthest away from the garage's side door. The piglets would now be able to move freely from warm 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit to cool. They were very lethargic. When stimulated, they barely responded. Les squirted a few drops of corn syrup solution onto his wrist, the way his aunt did before bottle feeding her baby. Neither piglet would suck. He switched the bottle with a nipple for a 20-milliliter syringe. He dribbled warm corn syrup solution into the piglet's mouth. She swallowed several times. Suddenly she was alert and energetic. She vigorously sucked from the syringe. He repeated the technique used with the first piglet on the second piglet. She too suddenly became alert and energetic and sucked vigorously from the syringe. Les's dad returned from the Goat Ladies with 4 gallons of raw goat's milk, 2 bales of hay, and a bag of sawdust from the butcher shop.
Been thinking. They live. They're yours.
You sure?
You heard me? Put at least an inch of sawdust on the floor of the pen and make a pile of hay big enough so they can burrow and nest. Dinner is in half an hour.
Both piglets now readily accepted the baby bottle that had been filled with warm goat's milk. The first piglet was white with a black band, the characteristic marking of a Hampshire hog. Les held her up to eye level.
From now on, you are Millie.
The other piglet was all white like Mildred, its Yorkshire mother.
From now on, you're Molly.
Doc Spence, Part 3. Les couldn't remember which. Meg or Paula said, "Whenever we have pickled beef tongue, the whole house smells like dirty feet." Mom set the cooked tongue on a platter, usually reserved for the Christmas turkey. The bottom of the platter had a nativity scene.
Hey, look, beef tongue is licking baby Jesus.
We watched Dad perform, in a ritualistic fashion, the final steps of preparing the beef tongue. First, with lightning speed, he used a butcher's steel to hone the edge of his knife. Next, with the deftness of a skilled surgeon, he made a long slit from the tip of the tongue to its base. Then, using blunt dissection, separated the thick outer covering of tissue from the meat below, which he sliced into pieces, roughly 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch.
It's ready. So are you. I can tell from the way you're licking your chops.
Usually, during dinner, Meg or Paula would grace us with a monotony-breaking event. For instance, Paula had a habit of sniffing her food before eating it. One Friday during Lent, for dinner we had rice with milk, sugar, and cinnamon. Paula bent down to sniff. Dad pushed her head into the bowl. She emerged, her face and bangs covered with milk and milk spewing from her nose. She ran down the hall screaming and crying. Or the time Meg pointed her slightly bent index finger at Paula and said,
"Please, oh Paula, please pull my finger. I have a terrible cramp."
When Paula tugged Meg's finger, Meg expelled the loudest and longest fart in our family's history. Everyone froze. It was as though a cloud of paralysis descended upon the table. How could such a small and delicate child produce something like that?
"May I be excused?"
Simultaneously, Mom and Dad nodded their heads affirmatively.
You're a dum-dum dough diarrhea.
Meg crossed her eyes and stuck out her tongue.
You eat dog puke and you poop maggots.
"You are the undisputed queen of the dung beetles."
You two, knock it off.
May I be excused?
You barely touched your food.
Can I get something for my tooth? Mom returned with a roll of cotton and a bottle of aspirin. She placed an aspirin between 2 teaspoons, then pressed and rocked them, until the aspirin was powdered. She then rolled a piece of cotton into a small ball, which she soaked with clove oil and coated with powdered aspirin.
Be sure to put some on your gum.
Is it okay if I spend tonight in the garage?
I guess so.
Like I was saying before we were interrupted, I was in the cooler when Edith, the bitch from Sunset Realty, came into the butcher shop. She went over to the display counter and started banging on top of it and shouted,
"Help, please. You have a customer.
"What can I help you with?"
I insist you provide me with 2 of your very best filet mignons and 2 of your best T-bones.
"How thick do you want the fillets?"
Between 2 and 2.5 inches. Tomorrow Brad and I are entertaining a very special guest and his wife. I'm sure we agree. The town needs another dentist.
"What do you mean we? You got a turd in your pocket?"
Dr. Burton and his wife are such a lovely couple. Everyone knows Doc Spence hasn't been the same since Maddie passed away. Several of the ladies in my bridge club are convinced Doc is an
"How thick do you want the T-bones?"
Same as the fillets. I do not want to be a gossip or to spread rumors, but the bartender at the Wrangler told Brad that most evenings Doc comes in early and stays, drinking well into the night. Generally, he's happy and enjoys socializing with the ranch hands. Other times he's surly, and occasionally he's even combative.
That comes to $10.12. She gave me $10.50.
Keep the change. Toodaloo.
Every 2 to 3 hours throughout the night, Les fed Millie and Molly, alternating between corn syrup solution and goat milk. End of section 1. Doc Spence, part 4. Friday during recess, Bobby Larkin cornered Les.
"You stink, and you're stinking up the whole classroom."
You know what, Bobby? Yesterday, Alice and Jane stopped me, and Alice said, "Bobby stinks." I stuck up for you. I said, like shit. Lame, so lame, should've made sure it was loud, but not shouting. Told what had happened to him last Wednesday. I dared him to pretend the flagpole next to the playground was Miss Gunter. I dared him to French kiss it. He took the dare. His tongue was instantaneously welded to the fence. He started crying. Finally, Miss Gunter realized Bobby was no longer in class. She asked if anyone knew why Bobby wasn't with the rest of the class. There were a few giggles. She then launched into her. Recess is a privilege, and ended with,
"Your recess privileges will be revoked for the next 2 weeks, unless someone tells me why Bobby isn't here."
That's when Mr. Sparks, the janitor, came into the classroom. He and Miss Gunter had a whispered conversation. Yesterday, Bobby told me what happened, just as the janitor arrived with warm water to get Bobby's tongue unstuck. Bobby had sudden and unexpected cramps and explosive diarrhea. He said, at first it felt so warm and so good, until it began to freeze. I told him I didn't want to hear it, and I told him I didn't give a shit.
By Monday, memorize the preamble to the Constitution of the United States. Turn to page 85. We, the people of the United States.
We need to amscray, we need to make like a tree and leaf, or do like Bobby's bowels and evacuate.
In order to form a more perfect union.
Bobby wants a union with you.
Establish justice.
This is grossly unjust.
Ensure domestic tranquility.
Yeah, well, does your drunkard husband ensure domestic tranquility?
Provide for the common defense.
Common or uncommon, this is indefensible.
Promote the general welfare.
Even in warfare, being promoted to general is as high as you can go.
And secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity.
Please, please bless us with liberty.
Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
Doc Spence, Part 5.
Bobby, hey Bobby, wait up.
You still stink.
It's the clove oil. Where you headed?
The dentist.
Same here.
Doc Spence's office was on the second floor of the Wrangler Hotel and Bar, beside the law office of Frederick Irving III, and down the hall from Sunrise Realty. At the end of the hall was the apartment of the King sisters, who had not been seen in public for more than 30 years. A bench and 2 chairs across the hall from Doc's office served as the waiting room. Bobby pointed to the King sisters' apartment.
You ever seen them?
No, but my dad has. Every now and then, he is asked to deliver their groceries. One time, the apartment door was partially open. Dad was told to take the bags of groceries to the kitchen and set them on the counter beside the sink.
Has he ever told you anything about them? Anything at all?
Every Thursday, Doc takes them the weekly Tribune, and he usually stays for dinner.
How does your dad know this?
Doc comes to the butcher shop, and he'll tell Dad the steaks or whatever are for the King sisters. Why is knowing about a couple of old biddies so important?
It just is.
Promise you'll never say anything to anyone about what I'm going to tell you.
I promise.
Both have a massive goiter that hangs down their neck from just below the chin.
What's a goiter?
An enlarged thyroid gland. It happens when people don't get enough iodine in their diet. That's why my mom uses iodized salt. Dad said they have a lot of plants. He recognized African violet, foxglove, hemlock, belladonna, deadly nightshade, and poppies with strange crisscross slits around their pods that oozed a white milky stuff. He saw a round table with a black velvet cloth cover. On it was a deck of cards, dice, and an upside-down Ouija board with a planchette. On the table were 6 black candles. He said he would never forget the bookshelf. It has 3 big leather-bound books with gold lettering. Their titles are Grimoires Volume 1, 2, and 3. Dad said they were just like the Bible on the altar of our church. On the wall above the bookshelf is a black cross. And oh yeah, one of the walls has an extra-large drawing with the words Sigillum Dei Ameth in blood-red letters. Dad said,
I had this weird feeling I don't have words for. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up. I had a cold chill. I heard whispered,
Sigillum Dei Ameth. Sigillum Dei Ameth. Sigillum Dei Ameth.
I felt they were calling me and pulling me to them.
Faith, the sister with the larger goiter, asked Dad if he was Doc's butcher friend. Dad told her yes, he was. Hope, the sister with a smaller goiter, handed Dad a smooth gray stone, about the size of the tip of his thumb.
It will protect you, bring you luck, and make you prosperous. It possesses magnificent iridescence. It's our way of thanking you for consistently providing us with the finest cuts of meat of the highest quality.
She then whispered something to her sister.
Some Thursday you must accompany Doc and join us for dinner.
Dad said they had another whispered conversation.
Of course, we would have to contact Maddie.
Dad said he just wanted to get the hell out of there.
Thanks. Liz, my wife would not allow it.
Okay, that's enough. Let's flip to see who goes first. Call it in the air.
Heads.
Tails.
Before Les could suggest they do best 2 out of 3. The door to Doc's office opened, and a very large woman emerged. She wore a white, heavily starched nurse's uniform.
Who won the coin toss?
I did. He's first.
Follow me.
Before following the nurse, Les said,
Bobby, think about this. The King sisters told my dad they would have to contact Maddie. Maddie was Doc's wife. She passed away several years ago. Her cause of death is still a mystery.
Doc, a portly man with a round face and thick wire-rimmed spectacles, studied Les.
What's your name?
Les Brady, sir.
Are you related to Ollie the Butcher?
He's my dad.
The dentist chair, a conglomerate of attachments, had hoses with straight and curved stainless steel ends. It had a stainless steel mechanical arm with multiple pulleys and cords, the distal end of which attached to a handheld drill. Next to the chair was a small porcelain sink. Suspended above the chair was a large spotlight with handles on each side. Doc's nurse placed a bib around Les's neck. In front of him, just below eye level, was a towel-covered tray with several different angled mirrors, oddly shaped instruments, rolls of cotton with string, a shot glass, a container of drill bits, and a 10-milliliter syringe with a long, thin needle. Doc adjusted the dental chair until he was at eye level with Les.
Which tooth?
This one.
Les pointed to a spot at the back of his lower jawbone.
Open wide, wider, more. Yep, the problem's with this rear molar. I'll have you fixed up in no time. Marge, I'll let you know when to mix the amalgam. Son, no need to numb you for this. If you feel a twinge or a little pain, it won't last. Grip the arms of the chair and bear down. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Marge, now you can mix.
Doc placed cotton rolls around the tooth with a cavity. Marge positioned the curved stainless steel suction tip near the back of Les's tongue. It sounded like that of a straw when sucking the last bit of liquid from the bottom of a glass. Doc began drilling the tooth, the drill's high-pitched whine, now a high-low grind. Suddenly, sharp pain shot from Les's tooth through his jaw to his tongue.
Boy, don't you go getting hysterical.
Doc slapped Les, who bolted from the dentist chair and ran down the hall, then down the stairs 3 at a time onto the sidewalk. Bobby Larkin, a block ahead of Les, was running track star fast. Les burst through the front door, rounded the kitchen, and ran down the hall to the bedroom. He crawled under the bed. Doc Spence, Part 6.
Les, is that you?
Calm, real calm. Slow, deep breath. Slower. Focus. Better. Need clove oil. Need cotton. Need aspirin. Million Molly.
Les, where are you?
In my safe haven. My sanctum sanctorum. My sanctuary. My refuge. Here.
Where's here?
My bedroom. 10 seconds and she'll be at the door. 3, 2, 1.
Les, please tell me what's going on.
I won't go back. Damn. Sounded like a whine.
To Doc Spence? Come sit beside me and we'll talk about it.
No. Convincingly emphatic. Robust. Maybe when icebergs float in hell. or when Doc Spence burns in hell.
What did you say?
No, ma'am.
Come out, right this minute, now.
He listened to her footsteps. She left the room, leaving behind silence and darkness, infinite sources of peace.
He felt the scratchy bristles of a broom.
I can't believe it. She's poking at me like a damn dog.
I don't have time for this. What's going on? Why you acting up?
Doc Spence. She adopted her loving, sweet, and caring, gentle, and compassionate mother persona.
I know, at times, Doc will get upset and curse everyone and everything, using language that would embarrass a sailor. That's just him. It's probably a flashback from when he served in World War I. You know, like your dad's nightmares about World War II.
He slapped me.
Did you say Doc slapped you?
Yes.
War hero or not, slapping a child is inexcusable.
Les put a fresh clove oil-soaked, aspirin-coated cotton ball on his tooth. It didn't help. The tooth throbbed. He cleaned, then put methylate and a Band-Aid over the cut on his cheek.
What's this?
A scratch from where Doc slapped me.
Doc said he had no choice but to slap you. You were hysterical. He also said, I don't know what kind of kid you're raising, but you had better teach him to control his emotions. I'll be damned if I will put up with such shenanigans. Your dad gave me the phone number of Dr. Burton, the new dentist in town. Whoever I talked to was very nice. When I asked about Dr. Burton, she told me he was at the morgue. I said, I am so sorry. She laughed. My husband, Dr. Burton, is a certified forensic dentist. He has been asked to help confirm the identities of those poor people that froze to death during the blizzard. He is one of the few forensic dentists familiar with techniques such as boiling and degloving. I told her what happened with Doc Spence. She promised she would have Dr. Burton call the minute he got in. Les, come here. Dr. Burton will see you tonight. He said he will meet us at the office in 30 minutes.
This time, act like a man.
Go, wait in the car. Ollie, that was uncalled for, and you damned well know it.
End of section 2. Doc Spence, Part 7. Dr. Burton's office at the corner of Main and Adams was a block north of Thorndike Castle. An attractive blonde with a heart-shaped face and a pixie-cut hairstyle greeted Les and his mother.
This will be the waiting room. I'm completely redoing it. And that ugly thing is going to be the first to go.
She pointed to a Frederick Remington print.
How rude of me. We haven't been introduced. I'm Mildred, doctor. Burton's wife, dental assistant, and dental hygienist. You must be Les.
He was going to tell her about Mildred, the hog his dad had to shoot.
What was that?
I forgot what I was going to say.
She held Les's hand. Dr. Burton met them at the doorway of patient room number 1.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Jerry Burton.
They say you can tell a lot about a man from his grip when shaking hands. Dr. Burton's was neither bone-crushing hard or wet fish weak. He coated the area where the upper jawbone and lower jawbone meet with something that tasted like cinnamon.
Now I'm going to numb your jaw. That's it. Keep your mouth open, just like that. In a few minutes, your lower jaw, half of your tongue, and part of your lip will be numb. The feeling will return when the numbing medicine wears off.
Unreal, the difference between Doc Spence's office and this one. Doc's posters of teeth with cavities and decay, and an extra large one of diseases of the gum. Here, 2 paintings, one a doe and her fawn, the other Paul Revere and his midnight ride.
Want to know the reason for a picture of Paul Revere? Everyone knows he was a blacksmith. I want to see if you are numb. Did you feel that? Good. Very few people know that he was also a dentist. To the left of the picture of the doe and fawns is a small red circle. See it? Focus on the red circle. Take a slow, deep breath. Now, relax. Breathe out. Don't force it. Just let it happen. The tension throughout your body flows out as you breathe out. That's it. Slow, deep breath. Relax. Breathe out. You begin to feel sleepy. Your eyelids are heavy. You drift into a deep sleep, surrounded by a warm blanket of pleasantness. All done. It may take a while before the numbness completely wears off. Remember, don't eat or drink until it does. Like to see what I did?
Yes, sir.
This is a temporary filling. In 2 weeks, we'll replace the temporary with a permanent stainless steel crown.
Well, how was it?
Don't know. I fell asleep.
Doc Spence, Part 8.
Well, Marge, reckon that's it for today. Let's see, you've been my assistant for how long now?
Exactly 20 years today.
Marge, stay right there.
A few minutes later, Doc returned with a bottle of Taittinger La Francaise Brut champagne.
I apologize for not having champagne glasses.
He filled 2 tall kitchen glasses with champagne.
To 20 years and to many, many more.
He turned on the large light above the dental chair. He then centered the light so that it shone on the black velvet cover of an instrument tray, onto which he placed a $20 gold piece.
Thank you, Marge.
He refilled their glasses.
A toast to champagne, a truly elegant product of life. Here we go, you'll like this one. May your job here be as long and productive as a jumbo roll of 2-ply toilet paper. May your troubles be as few and far between as a grandmother's teeth.
He clanked his glass against hers.
Marge, one more and we can bury this soldier.
No, I've already had too much.
Half a glass, then? You'll do that, won't you? Hell, Marge, someone your size could drink a full bottle and still not be impaired.
What? Are you saying I'm big and fat?
No, nothing like that. You have a beautiful complexion and great teeth. As a matter of fact, your size reminds me of Maddie. I'll bet, when Maddie was your age, she weighed more than you. How old are you? And, be honest, how much do you weigh?
Doc, you're way out of line.
Marge grabbed the $20 gold piece.
I've been meaning to ask you, did slapping the Brady kid make you feel like a man again? Huh, did it?
Marge, I think you had better leave now.
And I think you better find a new assistant. I'm done. This time I'm serious. I mean it. I quit. You can shove the whole damn place up yours.
Against the back wall of Doc's office stood a dark oak roll-top desk. Inside it were ledgers and other business-related accoutrements. It also contained an 8x10 photograph of Maddie wearing her bridal gown. After staring at the photo for several minutes, Doc bent forward and kissed it, then closed and locked the desk. Doc Spence, Part 9. Doc sat in the far back booth of the Wrangler bar. In front of him were 3 shot glasses filled with Carstieres, the bar's house whiskey. Behind each shot glass was a stubby brown bottle of Coors Banquet beer. He softly sang and hummed, "It's a long way to Tipperary," as he dispensed with the first of the 3 shot beer combinations, most often referred to as a Boilermaker. After the second Boilermaker, he burst forth with, "Over there off key and very loud." Doc attacked the final Boilermaker, slapped the booth's tabletop, then launched into a not-so-rhythmic shout of "Liberty Forever." Doc watched, his tip for the barmaid, 2 $1 bills, float and land just short of the ashtray. He then hurried to the bar's side exit, narrowly escaping the bartender and his usual lecture about drinking alone and excessive drinking. Doc stood at the foot of the staircase leading to the second floor in his combination dentist office and apartment. He was lightheaded. He thought he might pass out. With his right hand gripping the handrail and his left arm and hand acting as a supporting brace, he began his ascent. He reached stair number 11, then turned until he was in a sitting position. Although he had only a few stairs left before the second floor landing, he stopped and rested his head against the wall.
Doc, are you okay?
What do you want? I'm fine. Give me a hand. Your face is familiar. What's your name?
Lightning Joe Mays.
He extended his right hand, which Doc gripped.
Why is your hand so sticky?
I put tough skin on some blisters.
I want to get a good look at that hand. Take a seat on the stool beside the tray. With the black cover. I'll be right back.
Doc returned with a fifth of whiskey, 2 shot glasses, and a syringe filled with xylocaine. Doc adjusted the overhead light until it was directly over Lightning's hand.
How did you get the blisters?
Calf roping. Well, practicing roping.
Want a shot? This is the good stuff. Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey. Not that crap they serve downstairs.
Reckon I will. Much obliged.
The blisters are from bad roping technique.
You're a dentist. You don't know calf roping.
This might sting.
Doc put xylocaine on the inflamed areas. He then scrubbed them with bactericidal soap.
I'm going to drain these blisters that are still intact before they burst. I know a lot about calf roping. I grew up on a ranch in northern Idaho. My older brother, Ned, and I had roping contests more times than I can count. Ned always won. He tried to make it on the pro circuit. He lasted maybe 2 months. You're probably holding the rope too tight. Don't strangle it. Pretend it's a small bird, a robin, or sparrow. Hold it. Just tight enough so it can't fly away, but not so tight you squeeze its guts out its butthole. Get some decent rope. 3/4 inch twisted manila is good. Avoid grass or singrass. They're too easy to break, and the weather affects them. How about some Irish coffee?
No thanks, I should head out. Debbie's downstairs. May I use your phone?
Over there, beside the metal cabinet.
A couple of girlfriends joined Debbie. In the bartender's words, they're having a gay old time. I asked him to tell her I would be a while longer, and to tell them the next round of drinks is on me. Sir, may I now have an Irish coffee?
Indeed, it is not my duty, but my pleasure to serve. I do suggest, though, before marrying this fine Irish gentleman to the lovely aromatic coffee, we excite our palate with a sample of this whiskey's divine purity. I brought this Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey and a few more before I left to come home from Ireland. Dr. Noble thought a cruise would be a good way to handle the grief of Maddie passing away.
Did it?
No, I couldn't stop thinking about how it would be if Maddie was with me. Everything we saw or did would create another memory to share. That night, Maddie paid me a visit. She wore an Aaron reading shawl. We sat on a red velvet love seat looking through a photo album. She paused at the photo of Charleville Castle, a neo-Gothic castle in Tullamore, County Offaly, Ireland. The whiskey we're drinking is from the Tullamore distillery. Maddie was more beautiful than ever. Both of us were teary-eyed. She squeezed my hand, then disappeared. The hand squeeze was identical to the one she gave me when her soul left her body.
I want to hear more about roping.
You know, your mother is related to Marge, my nurse.
Everyone in this county is related to everyone else.
Marge said that before the accident, you and Debbie were engaged. She told me when Debbie realized she was going to be paralyzed from the waist down, she tried to break up with you. That true?
What's that got to do with roping?
Before thinking about throwing the rope, You need a well-trained horse. Getting him right, this requires a lot of time in the saddle. You got to make sure he will neck rein. How does he act when you approach the calf? Does he respond to your cues? Marge said Debbie wouldn't talk to you or let you see her for more than a month. Is that true?
Please, Doc, I've got 2 really well-trained quarter horses.
Next, you gotta develop your rope handling and throwing skills. The level needed for competitive roping requires practice, practice, and more practice. Use tried and proven techniques, along with ones that work for you. Next time Ned comes to visit, I'll have him watch you. Be right back. Marge said you're the one that paid most of Debbie's medical bills.
So what?
Doc placed a light blue ring box onto the black velvet tray.
Go ahead, open it. I want you to give this to Debbie.
He adjusted the overhead light until it was directly over the ring box.
Doc, I can't accept this.
Lightning lifted the 3-carat marquee-shaped diamond ring from its slot. He studied the ring from several different angles.
Doc, are you sure you are absolutely positive?
Doc set the 8x10 color portrait of Maddie wearing her wedding dress next to the now closed ring box.
If you look closely, you'll see that Maddie is wearing the diamond ring.
Doc, Maddie's beautiful, and I do see the ring. For the last time, you're absolutely sure you want me to have it? What about tomorrow when you've sobered up? You still gonna want me to take it?
Yep, Debbie. Like Maddie has a rare and special gift that allows a brief glimpse into a heart that holds pure love.
Lightning smiled broadly when Doc handed him the ring. It was then Doc noticed Lightning had an unusually large gap between 2 teeth, the right lateral incisor and right cuspid.
Doc, you okay? You're real pale. You sure you're okay?
Lightning flipped the light switch next to the door, killing all the lights except the spotlight, which now imbued Maddie's portrait with a spirit-like presence. Doc remained in the dentist chair, his elbows on his knees and his head cradled in his hands. End of section 3. Doc Spence, Part 10. A cup of mint tea followed by a glass of bromo seltzer relieved Doc's nausea. He leaned against the doorframe of the King sisters' apartment. He rang the doorbell slowly, almost timidly. No response.
It's Doc. Let me in.
Doc, do you have any idea of what time it is?
The sisters wore identical outfits, a white Victorian-style nightgown and a black robe with the gold initials BB over the left pocket.
I have to contact Maddie. You have any special tea?
The latex isn't dry. Besides, you reek of alcohol.
Faith, the sister with the larger goiter, began preparing the black velvet-covered table for a seance. She put the Ouija board and planchette in the center of the table. She then placed the portrait of Maddie next to, but not touching the Ouija board. 6 of the black candles were placed, one to the left of and one to the right of, where each participant would sit. Grace folded 9 pieces of paper, 6 into the shape of a triangle, and 3 folded in half, creating a rectangle. She put them into her cupped hands, which she positioned within a few inches of her mouth. She then whispered an incantation. She lined up the papers, triangle, rectangle, triangle. Doc went first. The triangular piece of paper on his left revealed the Roman numeral 6, the one to his right an Arabic number 6. The rectangular piece of paper in the middle was blank. Grace was next. Roman numeral 6, blank, then Arabic number 6. Faith's Roman numeral 6, blank, Arabic number 6. Rearranged, 666 and 666. Doc scooped up the pieces of paper. They dissolved in his hand before he was able to put them into the incense burner. With uncharacteristic timidity, Doc gathered the 3 rectangular-shaped pieces of paper, his voice trembling.
There's something there, but I can't make it out.
He grasped each side of the paper between his thumb and index finger, stretched it, then moved it close to a lit candle. Sigillum Dei Ameth in blood-red Gothic lettering appeared. He did the same with the other 2 pieces of paper. The result was the same.
Doc, please, let's quit.
Faith, carrying a silver tray with a pot of coffee and a matching sugar and creamer set, approached the table.
Would you agree? Tonight is not a good time to contact Maddie.
I don't know. 1 minute the energy is negative, then positive. It's as though there's a battle to see which spirit's good or evil will prevail.
Tonight's moon is a perfect crescent. It's ideal for a seance.
Faith had a whispered consultation with Grace.
We shall continue, with the understanding that unless we establish contact within 15 minutes, the session will end.
I am the medium tonight.
The sisters nodded affirmatively. Grace moved her chair close to Faith. They again whispered.
Whispered secrets between them flow, in twin language. Only they know. A silent conversation, an unspoken bond. In their shared secrets, they fondly respond.
Doc, Faith, and Grace each placed their index finger and middle finger on the Ouija planchette.
Is anyone present?
Ouija moved to yes.
Will a spirit speak to us?
Ouija moved a short distance toward no, then changed and moved to yes.
Ouija is Lightning Joe Mays Maddie's son, yes or no?
The planchette did not move.
Ouija is Lightning Joe Mays Maddie's son, yes or no?
The planchette started toward yes, stopped, and then moved toward no.
I'll be right back.
The bottle of Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey was nearly empty. Doc quickly drank what was left.
Will one of you take over as medium?
I will. Is there anyone here?
The planchette moved to yes.
Are there any spirits who want to speak to us?
Again, yes.
Please, Ouija, yes or no, is Lightning Joe Mays Maddie's biological son?
The planchette stopped on the E of Y-E-S.
My God, oh my God.
Doc made a sweeping gesture.
Is any of this real?
His face reddened and the veins of his neck and forehead bulged.
You two are nothing more than a couple of old phonies. Excrement on the path of life. I was in the trenches at the Battle of Baloo Wood, fighting for what? For some worthless pig snot to wallow with my wife.
She came here to us. She was desperate. She had no one else.
Faith pointed to the red velvet-covered love seat beside the apartment's entrance.
She was sobbing so much it was impossible to understand what she was trying to say. Grace gave her some special tea. It had a calming effect. We again asked what happened and why she came to us. She told us she was pregnant. When asked, how could you let that happen? She told us,
I was rummaging around in the potato cellar hunting for the Jerusalem artichokes. I found a jug of Applejack. Acting upon an impulse, I took several swigs. Soon thereafter, giddy happiness replaced my sadness. I had been resentful and angry, especially with my girlfriends. They received weekly and sometimes even daily letters from their boyfriends or husbands.
She told us she no longer resented her girlfriends.
I was truly happy for them. For the first time, in a long, long time, I wanted to be around people. I wanted to tell stories, listen to jokes. I wanted to laugh.
She phoned several girlfriends. They agreed to meet at the Wrangler bar. She didn't remember leaving the bar. She said the only thing she remembered was being awakened by the loud snoring of the man she was in bed with. She refused to tell us who that man was. She said he didn't know and would never know that he was the father.
2 months later, when Maddie realized she was pregnant, she visited Buckskin, who at the time was working as a hunting guide and skinner. Buckskin told Maddie that when the 3 of you were with Buffalo Bill Cody and his troop, You helped several young women who ended up in the same predicament as Maddie's. Buckskin told her you could create potions and cast spells that would cause her to lose the baby.
It's true. We did help several young women.
We told Maddie we would help her. We let her know we no longer created potions or cast spells. We vowed to never again use them. One of our clients, a beautiful young woman with a bright future, took her own life. That's when we took an oath vowing to never again use potions or cast spells.
We told Maddie to return in 2 weeks with 4 $20 bills and 4 $5 bills. During that 2 week, we arranged through a confidential intermediary for the placement of the baby. 2 weeks later, Maddie returned with the money, at which time we taught her ways of disguising her pregnancy. We suggested she move in with us for the last 2 months of the pregnancy. She said she could not do that. It would draw too much attention that could potentially lead to her pregnancy being discovered. The final part of the agreement, which we wrote and she signed, it stated that immediately after giving birth, the baby would be handed over to the intermediary, and that she, Maddie, would not see or touch the baby. She would not know if it was a boy or girl.
Doc stood, then slammed his fist into the table. The planchette bounced across the floor and came to rest in front of the wall with the words, Sigillum de Ameth. Doc stumbled around the apartment looking for the key to the bottom drawer of the roll-top desk. After several attempts, he was able to fit the key into the drawer's lock. He removed the last bottle of Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey. He then filled a Dublin-cut crystal tumbler half full of whiskey. He set the bottle on the black velvet-covered tray that earlier held Marge's $20 gold piece, and the light blue ring box with Maddie's diamond ring. Doc Spence, Part 11.
Operator, please put me through to Sheriff Taft. This is Marge Butterworth. Sheriff, I'm calling from Doc Spence's office. I think you should come over here.
Marge, like most people during the age of switchboard operators and party lines, was reluctant to reveal anything over the phone, lest the operator or another party hear, knowing that whatever was said would spread like a prairie wildfire. Afterword, Bobby Larkin became a plumber's apprentice. He learned the real meaning of the word stink. Faith and Grace King are his mother's first cousins. Brad, Edith from Sunset Realty's husband, got a butt full of buckshot when caught in bed with another man's wife. Most of the town knew of the incident before his wife Edith. Captain Willis, Wyoming Highway Patrol, transferred to patrol headquarters in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Curly Johnson will continue to argue the blizzard of 1949 was the worst in Wyoming's history. Debbie married Lightning. Currently, they are living in a double-wide trailer on his family's ranch. Dr. Jerry Burton continues to practice family dentistry. He has also become a renowned consultant and authority for forensic dentistry. Dr. Burton's wife, Mildred, became a county commissioner. She was instrumental in bringing fluorinated drinking water to the community. Edith of Sunset Realty divorced Brad and moved to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, where she owns and manages an upscale hotel. Faith King and Grace King, continue to be reclusive. Before being questioned by Sheriff Taft, they hid the poppies. They rearranged all of the houseplants so that the foxglove, belladonna, and deadly nightshade, among others, would go unnoticed. Frederick Irving III, eldest son Frederick Irving IV, has joined his father's law firm. He has yet to pass the bar exam. Goat Lady increased the size of her herd due to an increased demand for her products. Ollie, Les's father, and Liz, Les's mother. With the arrival of supermarkets, there was no longer a need for old-school butchers. Ollie and Liz moved to Casper, Wyoming. Ollie works at a specialty butcher shop and Liz waitresses at one of the nicer hotel restaurants. Lightning sold the diamond Doc Spence gave to him to give to Debbie. He and his Aunt Marge pooled their resources and bought an upright headstone for Doc's grave, the face of which has an engraved molar. Marge tried working with a dentist in a nearby town. She failed. She and Buckskin have a small place just south of town. Their combined incomes from farming and odd jobs enable them to live somewhat comfortably. Meg, very soon after graduating high school, got married. She and her husband have a business that continues to flourish. Mildred, hog. Carcass was disposed of in the town dump's animal pit. Molly and Millie, piglets, when grown were sold at auction. The money from their sale was used to purchase a Raytheon television set for the family. Miss Gunter divorced her alcoholic husband and eventually married the service department manager / mechanic of a local car dealership. Paula, Les's sister, received a full academic scholarship at a prestigious Midwestern university. Radio announcer took advantage of a career advancement opportunity and moved to Denver, Colorado. He eventually became syndicated. Wrangler bartender, continues to tend bar at the Wrangler Hotel and Bar. He has a landscaping business on the side. Thank you for listening to Doc Spence, the second work of short fiction in the series Wyoming Tough,